She's one of the great speakers that you have in your life, especially on matters health. And today she's taking us on a session on how to manage our weight and how to lose some weight if you have some kilos to burn. So without further ado, I welcome Gladys. Gladys, karibu.
Wow, thank you so much, Fred. Thank you always for hosting us every Sunday, such a time as this. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, everyone, wherever you may be logging in from. It's a pleasure to be here, and especially to be the person doing the session for you. I'm super excited because when I came into this space of health, I was actually looking out for an opportunity where I would make some money, but I was introduced to this health world that was really amazing, and I never looked back from the very first day. And so I want to encourage anyone who is here on the call, if you're a guest, if you're new in our space of health, welcome, karibu sana. My name is Gladys Njura. I'm super excited. I feel blessed for this opportunity. I came into this opportunity or this health space because I was looking. By training, I'm a trained teacher. I graduated from Kenyatta University in 1996, and immediately thereof proceeded to work with a bank called Cooperative Bank of Kenya, where I worked for 5 years. It was an amazing job, amazing environment, amazing colleagues to date. I admire them, I like them, they are my friends. But while I was there on my 5th year, I started feeling the need to explore other opportunities, and more so, I needed to make an extra income. As you can tell, the mood in the country, the economy, money is never enough. People are having challenges. I was in such a space those years ago. And after my 5 years in the bank, I really wanted something part-time to give me some extra income. And that's how I got involved in such a meeting. I went to a meeting and I got introduced to this opportunity that even teaches people about health and wellness. And I was a young mother that time, if I remember very well. My kids were pretty young. They were very, very young. And as a young mother, I had done a lot of mistakes in terms of their health. And so when I went through my first session, I knew it was a game changer. I knew that I really had to change. And I'll forever be grateful, even to the person who invited me, because I started out attending the trainings on health. They changed my worldview of how to relate with food and budgets and shopping, especially for the kitchen. And it changed my children's health completely. And in reverse, or in the advantages was even my mom benefited a lot from the health, and my siblings, and we will forever be grateful for that. Today, I'll delve in straight away to the weight loss, and not just weight loss, weight management. This is a very misunderstood topic, or people have a lot of misgivings on the matter of cutting weight, managing weight. And so I would want to encourage you that if you're in this space and weight has been an issue for you or your family or somebody close to you, it's just a matter of getting interest and getting serious, and you keep learning more, because it's a lifelong journey. Actually, it's a total lifestyle change. So weight loss is not a one-time thing that you can say, I'm gonna just lose weight. No, it is a lifestyle. And for me, once I learned this, I was lucky enough to keep it locked there, and I was able to manage, and I keep checking my BMI. But let me not go into those details right now. Let's delve into it right away. So when you talk about weight loss or weight management, what are we really talking about? I think the first thing that people need to know is that there are many questions about weight. But really, weight is a situation where you carry more kilos than your height that God gave you. You know, for each one of us, we didn't create ourselves. We were created by God. And he's the only one who knows why he gave some people to be tall, others to be short. But given that, given your weight that you attained in your 20s and you couldn't grow taller, there are a certain amount of kgs that you should not exceed or go below. So when it comes to weight, we have something we call the BMI, the body mass index, that guides you on how many kilos you should not go below or go over and above. Because if you do, either way, you're going to have a problem with your health. And so BMI, body mass index, is something that everybody needs to be able to go and calculate. In a layman's language, you can calculate it as weight in your kgs divided by your height in meters squared. The index you get, the ideal weight should be probably around 19 to 24.5, or let's just call it 19 to 25. That is the body mass index all of us should ideally hold. Anything below that is underweight, anything above that is overweight, and it can extend to obesity or clinical obesity. Moving forward, we need to know that people have many questions about weight loss. I'll also be talking about managing the weight towards the tail end. And some of the questions people ask is, when will you start losing weight? You know, when you start losing weight, there are things that you need to focus on. The first things that you need to focus on when you're starting to think about losing weight is you focus on the things that you can control. The first thing is that you want to lose weight because the indicators are telling you that things are not right. Your knees are caving in, you're feeling the weight on you, your knees are actually talking to you about it, your ankles, the underfoot. That could be indications that you have too much weight than you should carry. Sometimes people, their high blood pressure goes up, and the pressure goes up, it could be an indication that your weight is contributing to that. And weight also contributes to foggy brain, fatigue, lethargy, and many other things. But when you're talking about weight loss, just know that focus on the things that you can control. What are the things that you can control? Number one, what you eat. How often, how to deal with stress, and how to take care of yourself each and every other day. So when you focus on those things, you know that you're on track. Forget about the things that you cannot control. What are the things that you cannot control? Things like genetics, age, gender, body type. Those things are already there. Don't focus on them. Focus on the things that can help you achieve your goals. And you know, at the end of the day, bottom line, if you eat better, you exercise a little bit more, those things will help you lose your weight. And then if you continue doing them as a total lifestyle change, you are able to manage. If the issue of checking your kilos also scares you, it demoralizes you, you can reduce on that. Just work on what you need to work on, the things you can control. Then later on, as the days go by, you can focus on the things that can motivate you, like measuring your bust, your hip area, you know, and then also the things you're feeling. You start feeling good. You start having something encouraging and positive. So focus on those results you're getting, that you're feeling better. You can walk faster without getting tired. You can go up the stairs without panting too much. You sleep better. You're feeling stronger. Focus on those things. Then why can't you get rid of your belly and thighs? Some people ask those things, you know, and to slim down, you have to lose some body fat as well. You know that, the body fat, and you can focus on cardio, weight training, diet, very crucial components of losing that fat, stubborn belly fat, the thighs, and eventually you find that it will work out for you. It may take time. It's not a quick fix thing. And you find that you actually be able to do that. Another thing is, when you are on a weight loss journey and you find you're in a plateau, What happens then? What are you doing wrong? You're not doing anything wrong. The body has a way of programming itself. You can't be on a weight loss spiral month in, month out, like it is very progressive. No, there comes times when you plateau. And the times when you plateau is when the body is adjusting to the changes that are happening. Remember, you have organs. And when you lose weight very fast, those organs, they get destabilized. They do. And so ideally, we are supposed to lose weight progressively in a slow and progressive manner, so that even the organs, they start getting placed in the new environment in a better way. So if you experience a plateau, it happens for everyone. Don't feel discouraged. Just keep going. You know, why have you been exercising for months and you're still gaining weight? If you find that you exercise for months and you're still gaining weight, you haven't slimmed down the way you thought, it's high time to look at your diet critically. You need to critically look at your diet. And I love that, because that's what we do in your life. You know, people have a misconception of what we do when it comes to the health, but you will critically look at the way you handle your diet and it works for you. Then the other question people ask, how can you keep going when you haven't seen results? Just keep going. Even when you haven't seen results, keep going. You find that as you keep going, you start seeing other results that may not be physical. As I said earlier, more energy, better sleep, your focus and concentration becomes better, increased circulation in your bloodstream, reduced stress, and you have more confidence. And so let me go straight to now the weight loss itself and how we can be successful. What is happening in the world today? The trends are saying that things are not right. One of the things that actually triggers why people need to think about weight loss is that weight is associated with quite a number of chronic diseases. Diseases like heart disease, cancer, some types of cancers, diabetes, stroke, respiratory challenges. When you have weight and you have a challenge with respiratory, it hits you harder. Obesity in itself is a chronic challenge. And we are being told, you know what? If you take responsibility starting now, you can actually change the tide. We don't have to be statistics of these things together with our families. The World Health Organization, United States Department of Cancer, National Cancer Institute, Neolife as an institution, and many other serious organizations, even the Ministry of Health, they are always having this healthy food pyramid that encourages people to live better, to eat better, and to shop better. And we are being told, when you look at that healthy food pyramid, a pyramid is something pretty strong, and has a good base. And something that has a good base can withstand whatever else is up there. And so we are being told the first thing you need to do is to focus on living an active life. Don't be let me use this word, but it shouldn't be used. Don't be a couch potato. Don't be somebody who is very comfortable in the sitting position, you know. People who sit in the office and you're very comfortable that you have an office job, that office at the corner, and you're very comfortable just sitting. You go home, you sit. Please desist from that. Engage with as much physical activity as possible. If you drive, once in a while, leave your car behind and walk some distance, so that, or if you are in a place where there are some stairs, take the stairs up, take them down as often as you can. If you can be able to get to the gym, you can do so. But that can sometimes cripple you thinking the gym is the only thing that can keep you active. It's a fallacy. Keeping active doesn't necessarily mean that you stay in the gym. Then weight management, of course, we've said we have to make sure we are within our body mass index. Please go and read more about the body mass index. Between tomorrow and Friday, ensure that you get somebody go to a pharmacy that can do for you a body mass index, or a hospital, or a colleague, and do yourself a favor and do your BMI. so that you get to know where are you. If you're bordering the index of 25, that means you're heading to being overweight. Then you need to know that it's time to manage your weight so that you don't go beyond there. If you're already past that, this training is for you. If you are below the normal weight, my friend, you need to really add weight so that you don't go to the underweight section. Now, when it comes to eating, and this includes your shopping, whether you are a father or you're a mother or you live alone, the quality of food that you shop is very, very paramount, and it should be taken with more seriousness than the one, it should be taken with more seriousness than actually the jobs we take so seriously. I find people taking their careers so seriously, and when it comes to their feeding habits, and yet that body is the one that helps you maneuver through your career, people ignore their shopping habits, their eating habits, and elevate other things that are not as important. And so if we start taking into account what we put in our baskets when we go to the shopping area, that will make a change. One of the things we need to shop and get excited about is the whole grains. When you talk about the grains, anything made from maize, wheat, rice, soya, bran, that family of whole grains, are you eating them whole or you're eating them refined? There's a reason why God created the grain with the germ and the husk. With the germ, the bran, it simply means you have fiber. Fiber is a very important component of weight management and weight loss. So if you're used to eating refined foods and you're giving that to your children, you are giving a very bad legacy to a generation that you say you love. You can't say you love your children and you're not feeding them the best way that you should. So whole grains become a very important aspect of the weight management. And that really means you're eating wholemeal wheat, wholemeal rice, the brown rice, spaghetti, wholemeal, anything that is white, you should be reading the label of wholemeal, the bread, the mandazi, the samosas. I know it's not easy, but basically that's the way it is. We are supposed to prefer more of the whole grains. People say, oh, they are more expensive. Compared to what? Compared to what? To your health? To being sick? So those are some of the things you need to start thinking about. So we've talked about whole grains. The next category of foods we buy for our children and ourselves is fruits and vegetables. One of the things is that men, they underrate the benefits of fruits and vegetables and think that is the preserve of the women and the children. Women, they give more fruits and vegetables to their children because they want them healthy. And sometimes they can reduce that for themselves so that they can give the kids. But let me tell you something, whether a child, whether a woman, whether a man, we all need enough servings of fruits and vegetables. What will the fruits and vegetables do to you? They give you satiety. They have roughage, which is very important. And some of these fruits and vegetables have the fiber that is soluble and insoluble. You need the soluble fiber that can go and remove fatty deposits even in your circulatory system, and that is very important. So we've said you need insoluble fiber and soluble fiber, and that will come from fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and legumes, and the plant proteins. So for fruits and vegetables, we need a serving of between 6 to 15 servings, different types of fruits and vegetables every single day. And some people say, oh, some fruits have sugar. I would rather you do the fruits and vegetables than you actually do refined starch. The sugar in the vegetables and the fruits is much better than if you're adding on refined starch in your health. So the body will be able to use that natural sugar than the sugar that comes from too much whole grains. Okay, then proteins. Proteins are bodybuilders. Here is the catch. As you grow older, you need to reduce the intake of too much proteins, especially the animal-based proteins. I'm not saying you stop, please don't misquote me. You reduce too much intake because proteins are body builders. And when they are body builders, it means potentially if you take too much of the animal proteins, especially the red meats, those ones, you find you can easily add weight. And of course, that goes with eating refined starch. You can add weight more than you're expending it out of physical activity. So there'll be an imbalance. So when it comes to proteins, the best proteins you need to introduce in your homes more is the plant-based proteins, the beans, the legumes, well, there are many. If I was to mention them, just go and read all the legumes that are out there, and you can note them so that when you go for shopping, you know whether the kids love it or not, or the men in the house keep complaining, I don't want to take beans, I want more of the meat. No, you go and work on it and introduce it slowly by slowly. Of course, the animal proteins are good because like meat is a good source of vitamin B and everybody needs vitamin B, but overdoing it is not good. And you find that when it comes to the animal proteins, then you need to do more of the ones that are kienyeji, the ones that are not modernly raised. So if it's like chicken, the roadrunners will always take the better. It's always better to do the roadrunners. The animals that they walk around are much better than the ones that are zero grazed. You know, the eggs that we are eating, the kienyeji ones are better than these others. And the boiled ones are always a better version, much more than the boiled ones. And then, of course, the no-go zone are the proteins that are treated, the sausages, the prawns, the burgers. We need to reduce on those ones, and if possible, avoid them because they also can bring other challenges in health. And then fats and sugars should be very little. Actually, it is said that you need a spoon of sugar, a spoon of oil in a day. But you find that in that area of fats and sugars, now this is where we've confused our life completely because we are doing a lot of fats in terms of the margarines for the bread spreads, the cooking oils, and then the mayonnaises we add in our foods. Then the sugar is on the table, refined sugar. And now to make matters worse, people add on things like sodas and the juices that are all over in the supermarket. They have a lot of industrial sugar. Can you imagine a bottle of 300 ml of sugar, of soda, could potentially have 13 spoons of refined industrial sugar that goes straight to it into fat, and that it's turned into sugar. I mean, the sugar is turned into fat, and that is not good for you. And also the refined foods we've talked about, all the ungas that come from refined foods, when they get to the body, potentially they become sugar, and that sugar must be turned to fat. Otherwise, the body would go into a coma because of too much sugar. So because of that, we realize that actually we are not eating well, we are not doing shopping well. We've inverted this pyramid upside down. So we are doing a lot of refined starches, a lot of sodas and juices. You can imagine how many of those go down in shops. In Kenya, for example, tons and tons and tons of sodas and frizzy drinks and energy drinks. And we eat a lot of animal-based proteins, a lot of them, and we are reducing on the essentials, the fruits, the vegetables, the whole grains. And then to make matters worse, our physical activity is down. And that's what now brings in being overweight. Whether you are a little bit overweight or too much overweight is not good for the body. And so because of that, and the diets that we are eating, we are saying essentially for weight loss, it's a total lifestyle change. So it entails you rest well, you sleep good hours. Remember, when you are asleep is when the body can cut weight better, when you are rested. Then we are saying you exercise, or live a very active life, and then you eat right, take a lot of water, and of course, avoid stress, because stress can be a trigger for overweight. So with those, we want to show you how now, if you find yourself in a situation where there's weight, or you have a client who has weight, or you have a relative who has weight, this is where Neolife came in and said, we as a company will give some of these solutions because it's important to have a solution carrier. So in Neolife, since 1958, all they do is they focus on health matters, and more specifically, talks like these ones. We do thousands and thousands of talks within a year, and you learn the whole how to take care of yourself from the head to the toe, from the hair right to the bottom of your where your legs are. And so you find with that, we have a scientific advisory board that teaches us these things that we are talking about. They've come up with a system of teaching us. They do journals, clinical journals. They do there are many. If you go to our university, Neolife University, you'll find topics that talk about carbohydrates, they talk about fat, they talk about weight loss, and then they give solutions of what you need to do. And so if you have a weight problem, probably you need to now think about our weight solution. What is our weight solution? The first thing, you need to make sure you are on a multivitamin. If you're going to go on a weight loss, I know people who do a lot of weight loss where they're only taking juices or they're fasting for long periods. You know, it may be good in that area of you're losing weight, but what happens is when you go for long periods without eating, then the body is missing the vital nutrients that it needs to build all the other organs. So on one side, you're cutting weight. On the other side, you're depriving your body of very important, all the vitamins, A, B, C, D, all the minerals, the macro, the micro, and the trace minerals, the good proteins for repair of damage, and the lipids and sterols that take care of your cell membrane. So you need to seriously consider a multivitamin when you're going on a weight loss program, because it will ensure that you're not lacking in any of the vitamins, minerals, the proteins, the lipids and sterols that the body requires on a daily basis. So with Neolife, they tell you, we have ProVitality for you. It's part of the weight loss program. And in the process of going through the weight, you're taking care of your heart, you're taking care of your immunity. Your immunity remains very strong so that no opportunistic disease will come to attack you during that period of your weight loss. Your brain is at its best, your joints are okay, and all the other things that can bring problems because of lack of the nutrients we've talked about, they are catered for. So you have the ProVitality. The next product you need to think about is a good protein shake. Now, when you look at what are these people? The people who go to the gym and they live a very healthy life. You know, the athletes, people who do active sport, you can take it to the bank. Most of them, they must take their protein shake. It is a must. Even the guys who run, our runners in Kenya, they have very strict diets of taking more of proteins than the starch to maintain good muscle, because you don't want to lose good muscle when you want to cut the weight, but you retain good muscle when you're cutting your weight. And then, of course, you are being fed. You are having the good protein, because proteins are bodybuilders, and you must maintain that bodybuilding factor. So one of the best things that you can give yourself when you're on weight loss is a fantastic protein shake. And this week, my daughter has been going through research on protein shakes. Can you imagine some of the protein shakes are done from very bad materials? I won't go into the details. It was scary when we did the research this last week. And so you find our protein shake is very well researched. It is what we call a glycemic response controlled program. Glycemic control is basically working on the sugar storage of the body so that they remain, your sugars remain under the right controlled, as you can see this diagram, the controlled zone, because when they remain there, there's no fat to turn into, there's no excess sugar, that essentially will turn into fat, and then it goes to the fatty deposit. The pockets like at the back of your neck. For the ladies, it comes to the bust, comes to the arms. A lot of it comes to the waist and to the hip. Actually, the very worst of the fat is the one that comes to your waist. That one is potentially very dangerous. And so you find it will help you to have a sense of fulfillment. You feel full. It has a lot of fiber. Remember, we said people are not eating enough fiber. So it has good fiber to maintain your satiety. And then essentially it has been put all the vitamins and minerals you need in the process of cutting the weight as you reduce the starch, too much starch intake. And it gives what we call now, it promotes fat burning. Because when you're not giving your body too much starch, now the protein coming into the body is the one that will be used for energy. And so it promotes the burning of the fat that is stored in your body. Let me tell you, the more you are into this, the more now your body goes into a fat burning mode. And your body will always know that we are fed. So we can release what is stored. If you go for long periods of not eating food, sometimes the brain signals the body, we are not releasing any fat here. Because if we do, we are going to starve ourselves to death. Let's maintain it for those long periods that we are not having enough food. So it is very important to think about the protein shake. It's a great one. It has 3 flavors. We have berries and cream, we have vanilla, and we have chocolate. Because people like different flavors. Something else which is an all-time is the tea. And this tea is fantastic. It's a blend of the white tea, the black tea, and the green tea. A blend of all that. And basically, it has been done in such a way that it keeps you on the high. You know, when you're on a weight loss, what happens is that there are times when you start feeling low because your body is used, when you are feeling your sugar is going low, you bite a samosa. It's going low, you take a soda. It's going low, you buy some chips. And because it has been wired to that, when you have your lows, now that's when you take the tea. So essentially, you do shake in the morning, okay? Then you avoid taking too much of the starch, the bread and all that. Then at tea time, you do your tea. This tea will keep you on your high. It will keep you energized, and it will help you even in the burning of fat. And then at lunchtime, you can do another shake. Then at 4 a.m., another tea. And then dinner, you can actually eat food with your family, but you try not to put too much starch into the diet. For that period where you're saying, you know what, I need to cut my 10 kgs, I need to cut my 15 kgs. But in between the tea time, you can have a healthy snack as you take your tea. So you will need to go and do a menu where you have healthy snacks. And even when you're shopping for dinner, what am I going to take? So that now I don't counteract. I'm cutting weight and I'm still adding foods that add weight. So that's a program that you can talk to the person who invited you, because we have a lot of that. And I can tell you what happens is that when you go to the Neolife University, just go to Google, write Neolife University, look at the courses there, go to the weight management. That one should be a must for you if you're going on weight loss. Another must should be the topic on carbohydrates. And it's very, very important so that you understand what excess carbohydrates can do for you and what you need to do to reduce that. And basically, once you are into that, we've talked of ProVitality, Neolife Shake, Neolife Tea, okay? That is very, very paramount. Whether you're traveling or not, there's a way you can even be able to carry your shake in portable containers that you don't have to carry the whole pack. Again, it is packed in a way that it has sachets inside. You know, it has sachets inside. No, or you can even have a packing small container where you carry your portions for maybe breakfast, if you take breakfast in the office, and lunchtime. And then your tea is packed in a way that you can just carry the sachet. This one sachet can be used the whole day. You take half during the AM and another half during the PM. The other day, my friend was doing a calculation on how much a sachet of tea could be. 200. That's basically the kind of money we spend when you go for a good quality cup of tea in a restaurant, you know? So basically, that's what I'll be at. Now, to finalize everything, I know you may be having questions. That's okay. We can do that offline. You can ask as many questions as you can, especially the person who invited you. But if you go on a self-discovery learning of the eating habits and you go on the program, I can assure you in the next 3 months to 6 months, you can potentially cut between 10, 15, 20 kilos between the next 3 months to 6 months. This is not a quick fix. As I told you, the body shouldn't have a drastic weight loss. That is not good for your organs. It should be systematic and well thought of. Now, for you to be able to afford even the products, the company tells you, hey, you can come and be a member in Neolife so that you are potentially able to buy the products at the factory, the company price. You buy for yourself. The person who invited you can take you through that. And then you'll be given what we call a back office and a website. So in the back office and the website, you'll have a lot of information on the news you can use section in your back office. And there are many videos on weight loss, weight management, a lot of information on what we call glycemic response. And if you feel probably you are caught up in terms of your finances, then it's a high time you thought of earning an extra income with us so that your first few months income can go to getting yourself the weight loss program and you go into it. Otherwise, from me and the people who have invited you, we want to tell you ours is a total lifestyle package. We do a lot of trainings, we do a lot of personal development, we do a lot of leadership. We hope you are the next person to be teaching people out of experience the weight loss and any other program that comes. If you've ever thought of traveling with Neolife, you can plug in and know how we do international travel, how to remain healthy and active, how to be a part of our community. Because this is a community where our mission statement is to make the world a healthier and a happier place, starting with you. Thank you very much. God bless you. I want to take you back to Fred for him to do the closing remarks. Asanteni sana. God bless.
Mute. Thank you so much, Gladys. That was a powerful session. Very well articulated, very informative. We've learned a lot. There's somebody who was asking what is a plateau on the chat. Maybe you can answer on that one. What do you mean when you say somebody has hit a plateau?
What happens with most people who go on a weight loss program, the first few weeks or the first few months, you lose weight very fast. Most people lose weight faster in their first few weeks. What happens is after a certain time, the body just doesn't, when you go to the scale, you're not seeing the weight going down anymore. And you plateau somewhere, maybe, and then you're still doing the same things, but you find when you go to the weight scale, you're still at 75. Or maybe you just reduced with a kg, vis-a-vis where you already did 5. So when you're in that plateau, please don't feel alarmed. Do not feel alarmed. The body has its way of adjusting so that it doesn't destabilize itself internally. So go through that phase, continue doing what you're doing. Don't feel discouraged. And later on, after you are done with the plateau phase, remember all of us have different metabolisms. You find that now you can start cutting down again. So that plateau happens for everyone. And everybody is different. People are so different in their weight management program. Don't compare yourself with anyone else. because genetics count, your eating habits count, your metabolism count. I hope I've answered
yes,
the
you have.
question
And
well.
I just want to add that sometimes, like I've seen some people hit a plateau at the beginning. Because I've had a client who took the program, she didn't lose a kilo. And she went through the program twice, nothing, she didn't lose anything. When she stopped the second program, she lost more than 10 Ks in a month. So sometimes it happens at the beginning, sometimes it happens in the middle, sometimes it happens at the end. Then maybe one thing that we can comment on, Gladys, just to help the people on the call, why should you eat small meals in the course of the day rather than eating a large meal at once?
Fantastic. Actually, with the New Life weight loss program, we are totally against this story of staying hungry, staying many hours. I don't think God designed us to be like that, where you stay for long hours without eating. I don't know, but the scientists, there's a lot of information that goes out there on social media, but sometimes it's good to use common sense. So basically what we are supposed to do, ideally under normal circumstances, we are supposed to eat a very healthy breakfast and heavy, ideally, so that that breakfast that you've eaten gives you energy for the rest of the day. Remember, you've been on a fast in the night. So ideally, you should do a heavy breakfast. Then you live an active life during the day. And then at lunchtime, you eat a very moderate lunch. And then dinner, you eat a smaller meal. But we do the opposite. People eat breakfast in a hurry or skip it, do a moderate lunch, and then they eat a very heavy meal in the evening when you're actually going to sleep. And so when you go to sleep, the only thing the body can do is burn the fat, store it. So you're supposed to eat small meals. You take something moderately for breakfast. At 10, eat something small so that the body knows we are still being fed. We don't have to store anything. We are free to burn because we are not going to be starved. At lunchtime, have something else, but keep reducing the starch as you go down the day. At 4 a.m., eat something light. And then dinner, if you can, you eat something that is not too heavy for your stomach before you go to bed. So that is called a 5 meal, 3 main meals and 2 mini meals. And then, of course, you watch on the starch. Kenyans eat a lot of starch, a lot of starch. And that is one of our undoing. And we are doing the same to our children. And what happens is once a child starts eating badly when they are young, it becomes very difficult for them as adults to change that. So I think it's something you need to teach your children, even as young as they are. Limit their portions. Don't let a child eat as much as they want, too many snacks as they want. Always limit their portions. And we do the same for ourselves.
Fantastic. So thank you so much, Gladys. That was a powerful session. We are so happy to have gone through it with you. We've learned a lot. And guys, we'll be back again next Sunday. We'll be tackling a different part of health. For the guests on the call, join, become a distributor, start enjoying the benefits of your life when you're experience a lot. If you want to know more about how to become a distributor, tomorrow at 8 o'clock, we'll be back again on this link with Pascal Olo, who will be sharing with us on how you can get involved in your life and how you can develop yourself and achieve your goals and dreams as far as your finances are concerned. So we've come to the end of our session, and this recording will be available a little bit later today so that you can be able to share it with a friend, a neighbor, a cousin. Share it widely because you never know who needs to hear this information. And I tell you one thing, this information does save lives. What we might take as for granted because we are in your life, there are so many people who are starved of this information, a fork and a knife, and they need to hear this kind of information so that they can be able to turn around and be able to live a long and healthy life. So thank you all. God bless you. Thanks again, Gladys, and bye-bye, everybody.